Go on, you know you want to. UK ROM kindly did after the last video, and thank you in advance.
Clap for us. Clap for us. We need you. We need you. No, we don't. We don't need any of these people. Afternoon. Now, me and Cincarella here have noticed something quite interesting. Let's have a look, shall we? Who was Michael Asuma? The Cameroon asylum seeker dies by suicide on the BB Stockholm barge. Oh well. Now, we all heard about this story the other day. This one written by Anupal Sraban Neog. Careful. There's the barge. Looks quite nice. But yes, the other day, a man from Cameroon sadly took his life, which is always sad. But this man had many peer-reviewed documents back in Cameroon and was a doctor. Now, if he was a doctor, why was he persecuted? Why was he getting on an unsafe boat to cross the channel to be stuck on a barge? I think we know why. He was shouting at someone and complaining, saying every day that this happened to me, the food is not good and the environment. I am not a scapegoat. The food is free. Stop moaning. According to The Guardian, an asylum seeker believed that the man seemingly lost his life because of the dire conditions of the vessel. The man's mental health had deteriorated while they kept inside for a long time. Should have stayed at home. So of course Twitter was full of people who were going, we need these doctors and nurses. Well, so does Cameroon. But the thing is, do we really need them? Well, I beg to differ. And why do I beg to differ? Now, if you're a doctor or a nurse or just any kind of medical practitioner and you misbehave, you'll end up getting reported to a tribunal. Now, let's have a look at the list of people on the tribunals. Because surely, with all these doctors and nurses coming over that we really need, our ones must be fucking useless. So I can only imagine the list of people who are having hearings are all white. Let's have a look. Dr. Marlem Zaidi. Yes, that sounds like one of ours. Suspension, 3 months. Dr. Demetrios Sardu, whatever. He's also been suspended for 3 months. Dr. Tariq Hosni Wasim Mitwali. 2 years. Now, I'm not going to look at the not impaired ones because that would be unfair. Like Dr. Burton and Dr. Valentine. But let's look at the ones that have been suspended. Dr. Umasanka Matharam Vyagarajan. Sri Lankan. I wonder what he's done. Let's see. We don't know. We don't know yet because they haven't revealed why. Dr. Alan Damania. Erasure? I mean, erasure aren't great, but there's no reason to suspend someone from medicine. Let's see why he was suspended for misconduct. Failed to provide proper care and treatment, and that he failed to make a specific diagnosis of a severe infection and treat it. And by the looks of it, falsified medical records. That's good. Dr. Damania qualified in 1992 at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Ghana. Such a shame the Ghanaians didn't get his excellent treatment. Well, no, I wouldn't want them to get his excellent treatment, but we don't need it either. Dr. Amir Fairbood, conditions for 12 months. Dr. Malguzata Maddox, erasure. Another one for disliking an 80s band. Dr. Gruel. Dr. Sukhdev. Dr. Ashish Dutta. Let's see what they did to get erasure. Misconduct. It's a cosmetic surgeon. So the allegation that led to this hearing arose from a CQC inspection after complications following Dr. Dutter's treatment of patient A and patient C. He alleged that patient A's wife, Mrs. B, which was inappropriate, she specifically told him to stop. Stop doing what? He lied to the CQC that another patient of his didn't have a cardiac arrest when he knew this was untrue. It was also alleged that Dr. Dutter informed the CQC that he had stopped doing Brazilian butt lift procedures, which was also a lie. Back to India you go. Dr. Mohammed Siddiqui, Dr. Bashir Ahmed Sawida. Now I am ignoring the clearly white names. I mean, they should be struck off if they've done something wrong. I'm not defending them, but the other ones we don't need. Let's see why Dr. Ibrahim Hayat, another fan of erasure, has been kicked off. On the 21st September 2015, patient A attended the practice having felt a lump in her vagina. During the appointment, Dr. Hayat is alleged to have conducted an inappropriate intimate examination on patient A, in which it is alleged that he failed to wear gloves, he touched her boat, and performed repeated, I think we know what that means, deep digital examinations. It's alleged that the second and third of these actions were not clinically indicated. No, the poor lady had a lump in her vagina. She didn't want to be fingered. How disgusting. Also, they're meant to have someone with them when they do this of the same sex. Dirty boy. Back to India. Dr. Adnan Siddiq. What's he been doing? Dr. Siddiq qualified from Hungary, but I don't think he is Hungarian. Dr. Siddiq is alleged to have used his position as a doctor to gain Miss A's trust in messages on the 19th of November 2020, my birthday. He touched Mrs. A's vagina, put his hands around her neck, exposed his cock, put her hand on it, and pushed her head towards his knob, without her wanting to. It is further alleged that Dr. Siddiq told Miss A, "You should have sorted it out," or similar, with reference to his erection. Back to India. And he also kept messaging her by the look of it. Dr. Mohammed Malik Farouk, what's he done? He qualified in 2002 at Buckeye Medical University, that's nowhere here, and then moved to Northampton, as you do. The allegation that led to Dr. Farouk's hearing is that in October 2021, patient A arrived at the hospital emergency department presenting with a chest pain. Further, blood test results were made available, and they were having an acute coronary syndrome, kind of like a heart attack. And he put the wrong things into their records. And yeah, that's why. Useless. Back to Buckeye for you. Let's see what Dr. Desh Singh has done in Barnet. Now, if he's in Barnet, his patients are probably Jewish. Not that that excuses any of his behaviour, which we're about to find out. It turns out he has been previously kicked off the register of doing anything medicinal, and then lied to get his register back, so he has now been kicked off again. Back to India. For the sake of balance, let's see what Dr. Ricky Allen has done. He has lost his license to practice because he encouraged people via social media to not have anything to do with COVID. Let's see what Dr. Jamal Hilal has done. Dr. Hilal qualified in Egypt in 1986. The allegation that has led to Dr. Hilal's hearing can be summarised that he behaved inappropriately and unprofessionally towards two colleagues, Mrs. A and Mrs. B, and it was of a sexual nature. On one or more occasions whilst at work, you placed your arm around the back of Dr. A's shoulders whilst alone with A. You hugged A. You squeezed into a small space behind B's chair. You leant over B and placed your hand onto the computer mouse. You said to B, "You really suit XXX. I don't think that means what we think it does. You are a clever girl." And he asked B if she was an accommodating person. And asked B how tolerant she was. You asked them both to come to your office, then changed your mind and asked one to come alone. You told her she was a perfect woman and that she looked young. You sent a friend request through Facebook. You contacted one of them outside work, despite B asking you not to contact them outside of work. You followed one of them into a kitchen. You asked why they didn't reply to a WhatsApp message. You told them it was rude for not replying to a WhatsApp message and that they should reply straight away to your messages. You told one of them that they looked tired. You told them, "I know what will wake you up," and you massaged one of them's neck and shoulders. Even though they told you, "Don't do that, I'm okay." You told one that you'd like to have taken her to Sudan. Lovely. And that she was interesting to observe. You suggested taking one of them's bloods because they looked unwell. After having taken her blood, you asked about her menstrual cycle, her sex life, her XXX, and whether she had any pain. Now, to be fair to Dr. Halal, whilst he shouldn't be here, this just sounds like a lot of shit. He's being a doctor, he's an old fella, he's just saying someone looks nice, and he's just being polite. I mean, whilst he probably does want to shag them both, they could have just told him to fuck off. You touched her armpits, you dirty bastard, get back to Egypt. Dr. Gary Lucet. Dr. Lucet qualified in 2007. Prior to the events which are subject to the hearing, he was practicing within the NHS. In the gynecology department. I think we know where this may be going. I think we know where his hands may have been going. The allegation that has led to Dr. Lucet's hearing can be summarised in him sending a malicious letter to the previous partner of some woman. This action was part of a wider pattern of behaviour towards Mrs. E following the breakdown of her relationship. Mrs. E subsequently reported his behaviour to the police and he was arrested for stalking. But was he any good at his job? Who knows? Dr. Mohammed Adil, what's he done wrong? Dr. Adil's from Pakistan. He's been kicked off for expressing his own views on COVID-19. What's Dr. Kareem Ibrahim done? Another one from Egypt. He was referred to the hearing because of issues regarding clinical and communication skills. That's comforting to know. Not only can't he speak to you in English, he doesn't know what he's doing either. Back to Egypt. What's Dr. Mohammed El Saka done? Dr. El Saka qualified in Slovakia. He's definitely not Slovakian, but he does look old. Turns out he just didn't know what he was doing, just made up what he was telling the other doctors and nurses, and basically falsifying records. Back to Egypt. What's Dr. Rupesh Seth done? He qualified in 2008 from the University of Birmingham, however he is definitely not from Birmingham. Oh dear, he's been nicked because the police recovered 26 Category A images, 3 Category B images, and 11 Category C images from his first mobile phone, and more on his second. He's currently waiting, and he's currently serving a custodial sentence because he is a nonce. I think that's quite enough really. If you want to read through these, you can see on here where you can find them. Now I should advise, although these hearings have taken place and they've all been found guilty of doing these heinous things, whether it's denying COVID, touching women inappropriately, or being nonces, don't harass them because we'll all get in trouble. It just goes to show that we really do need these people from abroad working in our NHS. And should you need to go and see your doctor or your other half, go with them and make sure they keep that curtain open. Until next time, ta-ta for now, Merry Christmas.